Welcome, guys. Get yourselves in as always. Try to give you a chance before I get in to it. Get yourselves in, people. Get yourselves in, guys. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everyone. Jump in. All right, get inside, guys. I'm going to give a little bit more of a chance for everyone to get in before I crack on. All right. All right. So get everybody in. See who's on the live. Welcome, people. Welcome, everyone, as you're coming in. So let me make sure we got some guys in. All right. Well, let's do this then, guys. So welcome to, of course, another beautiful session with me. All right. Now, there's been an interesting week that we've had. You know, certain things have happened in the markets that have been quite interesting. Nonetheless, I hope you guys really enjoyed what's going on. I think the market has been an absolute showstopper, especially Bitcoin. It's been crazy how the markets have been, you know, absolutely show-stopping stuff, you know, and I think it's only just beginning. So I would definitely suggest to just keep your eyes peeled on everything that's going on. Keep your eyes focused on what the market is doing. And yeah, man, we've got to keep things going. I think, in essence, this current time that we're at right now in the market is only going to get better. And I do think that we are going to see some amazing movement taking place. So don't be afraid, guys, of whatever you see in the markets. Keep your eyes peeled. The main thing to keep your eyes peeled on, all right, more than anything, is just keep your eyes peeled on the market structure. Keep your eyes on Bitcoin, what's going on. That's the most important thing you want to be thinking about. Nothing else. Because ideally, where you're really going to get the money from is holding for the long term. But without further ado, let's crack on. Let's have a look at what's going on here. So I'll start with Bitcoin. So at the moment, Bitcoin is experiencing a pullback, which isn't, of course, would have happened because the price has entered into this daily supply zone here. Now, remember, this supply zone is one of the most powerful zones that the price used to go short. Now, we've had a very beautiful October as the prices continue to push long. Whenever it returns to supply, so naturally the price would be pushing short. Now, we've had, you know, some activity above this high right here, and the price is pushing short. And it does look like Bitcoin is now, you know, when Bitcoin was going up, I always thought the price would pull back down. And when I was looking at Bitcoin from here, I'll just show you what I was looking at. So around about 48, there's this demand zone here that the price did not return to. There's quite a few demand zones the price hasn't returned to. So there's one around here at 50, just around that point. And then we have some more. So I'll put this here. We have this one right here where the lows didn't return in here and then it took off. So I'm expecting Bitcoin to get back to 48 unless the price can support itself. Now, when I look to the left, there isn't any other zone really to hold the price. So this supply zone, once we close above there though, it will be looking good. But I think we're definitely in a little bit of a short pullback, which is always good. Pullbacks means you can grab some more money from the market. Well, if I click on this demand zone right here, from where we are, demand, you can see that the price is not respecting this demand zone to the left, which is quite a large one because as you can see, the price bounced off of it today, but it wasn't able to make a higher high. So now that we're pushing short, I expect Bitcoin to continue down that journey. All right, let me delete this. Now on the 15-minute time frame here is even more clear as to what the price is doing. We can see very strong pushes of bullish activity yesterday, and I'm expecting the price to pull back down at least to this point here at 51, but most likely even more than that. So my suggestion to you guys would be to keep your eyes very sternly fixed on the price action of what we have going forward. Okay. I think one of the best things you can do right now would be to just keep your eyes firmly fixed on the price action around this 48 region. All right, now we had a grab of liquidity here, and there is a chance that the price could come all the way back down to 48. In terms of market order book activity, there is a chance that Bitcoin has now firmly crossed 50K, but we could get a return back to the demand order block, which triggered this second wave of long activity, if I put it that way. There's a very good chance the price can do that. So if I was to put this here, rectangle, and we drop this on here, there is a very good chance that the price can return back down here before it decides to launch for another long again. So for me, suggestion wise, I'm thinking that the price would most likely want to go somewhere along the lines of this. All right. So I would say keep that firmly fixed in your mind. I'm expecting the price possibly to get there. And now let's look at Ethereum, because Ethereum has very similar price action. And I do think Ethereum is going to be an absolute, there is a chance Ethereum could become #1. Okay. Now I'm going to go over to, where are we? Ethereum here. And that's going to be my major focus for today because there's such amazing things going on. And as you can see that although Bitcoin has dropped short, there's starting to be a separation in terms of the price action that Bitcoin displays compared to what Ethereum displays. Now, there is a lot of institutional money within Bitcoin. Of course, it has the most. But what I am seeing here very clearly that the price hasn't really reacted much to this short that we've seen on Bitcoin like other cryptos have. Like if I pull up XRP's kind of dropped quite a bit from yesterday, from $1.10 back down to $1.06. All right, Ethereum hasn't done much. Now, the signature that Ethereum gave us was an absolute amazing trade, and I'm so kind of gutted that I missed that, but I'll just go through it very quickly to show you what I'm talking about. So what we had here, here's the low of the previous day, which was the low of the 4th of October, the 5th, excuse me. Into the 6th of October, we had the price come to the low and we had the injection of liquidity, which is crazy long. Now, I feel like this is probably one of the last buy opportunities in the bull market before things go absolutely parabolic. All right, now I'll explain to you why I believe that this is going to go parabolic just in a moment. Now, here on the 15-minute, okay, we've had a break of the bullish market structure or bearish market structure that we saw at the beginning of that day, okay, and the price has trended higher. Now, if Ethereum was to pull back, which there is a chance that the price could pull back, looking at things from the M15, I'll be looking for a buy either near the low of the day, or potentially the market maybe is slightly more cheeky and give us one more pullback down, just slightly lower than this low, all right, before it takes off. This is a very real possibility. Now, because institutional money is flooding into Ethereum like crazy, all right, it's it's becoming more and more volatile, and the market manipulation will be higher. Okay. So there is two opportunities here. One would be just a return back to the demand order block area here, and then we launch off for a long. The second is the price to come back for the low one more time, just slightly dip beneath here and then continue. Now, if whales have interest in the price going short, then trust me, they'll find a way to get the price to go short. But in the meantime, Ethereum has potential to literally go to 25K. I have a lot of belief in Ethereum, not just because it's one of the first, but it really is a project that has community like no other. Bitcoin, of course, has a community, but Ethereum covers so many grand, there's such a vast spectrum of what Ethereum covers, from DeFi to NFTs. Now, of course, there are issues with gas fees and, things of that nature, which is part of the game, guys. At the end of the day, no project is going to be perfect when they start out. And I do hate the fact that people sometimes try to use that as a reason why Ethereum is going to be so-called killed, I think in this space right now, it's not about any crypto being killed, but rather for interoperability, which I've been saying for many months. So I'm looking to see what the market is doing. And for me, I'm looking at the price, of course, technically speaking. If you don't have technical understanding, I told you there's two things that technicals give you. Number one, it gives you an understanding of where the liquidity is in the market. But number two, it gives you, more importantly, the psychology of the players in the market, if you know how to read candlesticks and wicks correctly. All right. So in essence, you never want to be away from the charts. If you want to be an investor, yeah. So let's dive into Ethereum a little bit more and see what's going on. Let me just see what you guys are saying. Okay. All right. All right. So let's pull this here, 5 minutes. All right. So I wanted to give this view. The weather is still bad outside, so sometimes there may be delays in what I'm saying. So I apologize if it seems like I took a very long pause, but weather's just been crazy. It's been stormy down here in London, so it's affecting the signals and stuff like that. But anyway, let's have a look at Ethereum from a fundamental perspective. And I do think that the fundamentals that Ethereum is currently rocking are going to be absolutely crazy for us in the future. So, stay tuned for what the price is going to do in the near future. So let me just quickly go over to what we have. I just want to show you guys exactly what's going on. All right, so let's put this here. All right, so I'm going to switch over for you guys, for you to see what's going on. All right. So, for me, guys, I like to always pull up different pieces of news, when I'm discussing stuff. Now, it's going to be amazing what happens here. Let's put this here. If I can put this for you guys so you can see. So forgive me, guys, internet slow. This is why I'm, it's taken a while to get things changed over, but I'm working on it. So bear with me, guys. Sorry about that. All right, but we definitely need, I will look at some other cryptos too, but my main focus is Ethereum. Ethereum as a project is absolutely amazing. Think of it this way. What would Bitcoin, when Bitcoin was 3,000, 2,000, if you knew the future and you know what it would be, how much would it mean to you to get hold of at least one Bitcoin? Well, this is what Ethereum is, with no doubt. And there's going to be a day where Ethereum is 25K a piece. I promise you that. Now, even if you don't own a whole Ethereum, I would rather own a whole, a part of an Ethereum at 3K than a part of Ethereum with the same money at 25K, because that is about at least 8 times more expensive, So to me, I see it as a piece of digital real estate that you don't want to be giving up at any point whatsoever. So let's load this up. All right, now put this here. Now I'm taking this from Motley Fool because I think this is probably a really nice piece that you would like to see. Nothing too wordy, but something really cool for you guys to see. So, all right, I'm switching over now. So here's the key that I wanted to. Now, we already discussed Ethereum. Now that we've had the upgrade on Ethereum and there is token burning, one of the biggest things that Ethereum, and this is probably why, I would say one of the biggest reasons why Ethereum is going to be an absolute killer for the future and is going to make many wealthy and even our children wealthy in the future, is because Ethereum has gone from an inflationary token to a deflationary one. How is that possible? Because of the upgrade. Now we have burning for token burning. We have burning of Ethereum via fees, okay? The supply is being decreased rapidly and the demand is still increasing because, again, about 60 to, I would say about 70 to 80% of all the projects that exist in the crypto space use Ethereum in some manner or are connected to Ethereum, which means the demand for ETH is quite high. All right, this is very serious, guys. And one of the biggest reasons why I'm so heavily bullish on this project as a whole and as a company. Ethereum, of course, there are going to be other projects. I know there is Solana and different things, which I know are also going to be fantastic in the future. But Ethereum has one thing that the others don't, and which is number one, time, and number two, community. All right, now, on top of that, their currency, the ETH token has, well, I can't call it a token, it's actually a currency. But the ETH currency, cryptocurrency, has actually become deflationary, which is a very positive, bullish sign and a very strong, attractive force to institutional money. Retail money, yes, but institutional money. Now, institutional money is what turns something like Ethereum, which is currently around 3K, 3.5K, something like that, to something that's going to be worth 35K in the next 10 years. All right. So you definitely want to pick up some ETH, guys, anytime you can. And it doesn't mean that there's not going to be other projects that probably take some of the market share. And you know what? There is a such thing, and I learned this from a Jewish man. I have his book. His name is David Lupin, and he made a very wise point. Now, the point was about Abraham and his 12 sons. Now, even if you're not religious or anything, you probably do know this story, okay? But, well, anyway, Jacob, excuse me, not Abraham. Even I'm getting it wrong. Jacob had 12 sons, and each of his sons, before he died, he blessed them, and he gave them he blessed them with specific blessings to basically do specific things. And what's the wisdom here anyway? So the wisdom is specialization with unity is a lot more powerful than a person or a system, in this case, that tries to do everything. Okay, so yes, there will be other crypto projects that do well, and they're not going to be killers. I think that's very immature. If you hear someone saying on YouTube that this is going to be this killer or that killer, they're very immature in the space, and they're not thinking about cryptocurrency. Yes, the currency, the money is great because we're in the early stage, but really, cryptocurrency is a form of technology which is supposed to better the lives of billions of people. And in order for that to happen, then definitely has to be some sort of unity within the technology. Can you imagine right now in 2021, if, it was very difficult for, I don't know, one computer, let's say Apple, to send something to, I don't know, a Microsoft computer because because of compatibility issues, which, some are systematically put in place to, put specialization. But right now, with the current technology we have, which is established, it's very easy to maneuver between different projects and different pieces of technology. And that's what we need with crypto. So I don't want anybody to come and tell me what is the next ETH killer, because there isn't such a thing. I would say that there are going to be other cryptos that may function better in a certain aspect that Ethereum does too, and that might become their major, thing that they do, and that brings in wealth that way, or brings in money to that project, and pushes the price up. But Ethereum, as it stands, has its own uniqueness, and one of the biggest ones is culture. So I would say, as soon as Ethereum switched from being inflationary to deflationary, that was the end of the story. And I believe that this crypto project is still, even at $3,500, is very undervalued for where it should be. Okay. I'm not saying it isn't Bitcoin, because I mean, in theory, there isn't actually a maximum supply, unless they're going to put one of those two. But at the moment, there is at times to sort things out. They can, or to sort payments out, or to get things going, that they can, of course, I think per block, they can add another 0.6 ETH per block of inflation, if necessary, to pay miners and cover costs or something like that. But in essence, it is still a deflationary token, which is absolutely amazing. So it means holding this over time is there's a high amount of incentive to, number one, hold over time, and number two, to stake over time. Okay, now some people hold, but they don't stake. So this is why I put the difference there. But in essence, with Ethereum, over these periods of time, where over time, as more Ethereum, it's crazy how it works. The more people use Ethereum or Ethereum-based products, so DeFi, NFTs, whatever, you need Ethereum for fees and etc. The more demand there is for ETH, the more deflationary the token becomes, the higher the price goes. So Ethereum is a project which I believe this upgrade is absolutely ingenious, because it really does incentivize you to hold Ethereum and to stake it. Now, again, why am I saying that? Well, we know that Ethereum's 1.0 version of the proof of work consensus mechanism is coming to an end, and we're moving into Ethereum 2.0, and the way that Ethereum work is going to be now based on the proof of stake consensus mechanism rather than proof of work. Okay, and proof of stake, where we get staking from, is a system where you stake things in order to to contribute to the network and also to make money. So if you have something that's deflationary, it's basically is demanded by about 80% of all projects to be used for some sort of transaction. And if the blockchain now is incentivizing for staking, what do you think is going to happen to the price, guys? And so this is why I'm saying that Ethereum is a ticking time bomb. The prices that we see right now, even though 3,500 for one may seem a lot, trust me, for what it can do, if Ethereum was 100K, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that Bitcoin is not going to do well too. Of course it would, but Bitcoin serves as a different function. Okay. And I'm not an Ethereum or Bitcoin maximalist. I'm just a crypto maximalist. But anyway, let's look into this news. So according to Vitalik Buterin, ETH or Ethereum, the Ethereum network is on the verge of a dramatic technological revolution. 1 year from now, Ethereum will transition into the proof of stake consensus mechanism or network, where investors will be able to earn interest for validating blockchain transactions with their coins, known as staking, execute digital interparty agreements, smart contracts, at record speed, and use far less electricity while utilizing the network. Now, let me stop there. Now, one of the things I really love about this upgrade is that it's addressing one of the biggest issues that is facing the world at the moment, which is energy shortages and the cost of rising energy. If you haven't been looking on the markets, if you are a trader, I'm sure recently you've noticed that the cost of energy has really skyrocketed recently. Now, Ethereum being something that's based or consensus coming to the network based on this proof of stake mechanism compared to proof of work puts Ethereum in an amazing position to also actually become eco-friendly in a sense, which addresses or speaks to one of the major issues that concern many people. And so this is why I say it has a lot of things going for it. This change that they've made is absolutely fantastic. All right. So the upcoming Ethereum 2.0 network upgrade is a massive overhaul from this current slow and, insufficient network. Now, with Ethereum as it is right now, the reason why I said it will even be a blessing to our kids, why? Because we could actually create savings with Ethereum. You could say that, and I'm not, this is not financial advice, by the way, okay? Because different from Bitcoin, Bitcoin is something that's supposed to preserve your wealth. And of course, as the price appreciates, you also grow your wealth because it's also deflationary. But with Ethereum, because of the demand, I believe that there's a much greater demand for Ethereum because of what it does, because of smart contracts and etc., than Bitcoin has by a far stretch. Now, Bitcoin doesn't have as much demand in that sense. It's just more purchasing, but nothing past that. Bitcoin isn't really used, for transaction fees for anything apart from transactions, peer-to-peer transactions. But Ethereum is used for a lot more of that, for minting NFTs to games, and there's just so many different things in the Ethereum universe. Okay, so this is why I believe that as a deflationary asset is a great place to put money for savings. I see Ethereum and gold as, I even said it, Ethereum and Bitcoin as gold and silver. Gold is for saving, Ethereum is for saving / spending, okay, at certain times. And then the rest of the cryptos are for investment. That's how I'm seeing it, guys. So I'm so excited to see what's going to happen in this year's time, but the potential for reduction in fees to execute those smart contracts, or what is referred to as gas fees in the crypto community, is what makes Ethereum look so good as a buying opportunity. Now, if you're not too sure, one of the biggest roadblocks at the moment with Ethereum, of course, with the increased demand, the difficulty on the proof of work consensus mechanism is also higher. And because the difficulty is higher, the fees charged, from miners to people on the blockchain, or, transactions on the blockchain is higher. So there are sometimes, I remember during July, there was a point where Ethereum gas fees were like $200 to $300, either way, so it was really quite a sticky one in terms of what to do when it came to buying and selling. So it's really costly. So things like the DeFi applications that people use, Uniswap, things of that nature, became, impossibly expensive. And to do a transaction, $100 transaction costs $200 to do, which, was something that was going to happen, but it doesn't mean it cannot be changed. Now, with a proof of stake consensus mechanism, because the rules of consensus are completely different and energy requirements are low and a whole load of things are different, gas fees will definitely be a lot less. Okay. Now, let's continue here. Now, this is an important point. Now, this is to do with DeFi. Now, nowadays, Ethereum powers pretty much everything in the 196 billion DeFi space, including borrowing and lending. So things like Aave, Compound, high yield cryptocurrency savings, peer-to-peer software, the trading of certificates of digital ownership, so NFTs, coin swaps. DeFi platforms that offer such services issue their tokens, but they're based on the Ethereum blockchain known as ERC20. All right, thanks to the ability to power smart contracts. This brings up a pretty significant problem: high gas fees right now, as we were just discussing here. The Ethereum network can only process about 15 transactions a second. These are regular transactions like sending money from point A to B. However, and this is important, smart contracts take a lot more data to store on the blockchain and require considerably more in the form of gas fees or for processing. Furthermore, like in the service industries, investors can go provide a gas tip for better and faster services, all right, further driving up gas fees. So for example, NFTs right now, it can cost as much as $150 to mint NFTs to sell. And I just spoke about that. Now, if we look at the day that this article was written, this is the 5th of October at 7:45 a.m. I believe this is my time, GMT. So reading this, $150 to mint a single NFT is not really great. That's just the truth. But anyway, considering this aspect here, there are more extreme examples. So for example, in July, when Mila Kunis auctioned 10,000 of her animated series Stoner Cats NFTs, investors rushed to purchase them. The Ethereum network got so overloaded that it caused the gas fees to soar to hundreds per piece. Keep in mind that investors themselves are paying about $20 on average a day in gas fees to purchase each NFT. That steep to $20 per day is because NFTs are a smart contract. They bind the buyer with the NFT, and the seller with the payment. And the processing takes up space on the blockchain, and of course requires data. And therefore, this is where we get this situation of higher gas fees. In addition, for example, and this is a big one, crypto asset loan these days are very expensive. So in other words, if you've been in DeFi for any time at all, in normal banking, we have, under collateral, well, in banking, you have over collateralized loans because we have a debt society, especially in the West or everywhere now. All right. But in the crypto space, we have under collateralized loans, which means, let's say, for example, that you need to borrow, I don't know, 10 ETH. All right. But you have Cardano. Well, you can set up a loan to pay some interest later on in the future, for example, and you can, certain contracts have different requirements. So if you want 10 ETH, maybe they want, and you have Cardano, then they want you to offer up 120% Cardano for the 80 ETH, the ETH that you want, and etc. And of course, all of that information that needs to be logged onto the blockchain takes a lot of money. Okay, so to put the money in, according to this, may take $80 to deposit the collateral into the DeFi lending platform. And then it's going to take an additional $80 to withdraw that. Now, this is one reason why, which is so silly, but, some centralized banking are saying, oh, they laugh at DeFi, is not going to go anywhere, etc., etc. It just needs time, really. But of course, when it comes to the normal society, it doesn't cost you anything to withdraw money and take it out, unless you have a strange type of account or some sort of special account. Anyway, again, these high base rates mean that the investors need to deposit a large sum of money to earn a meaningful fixed income or take out a huge loan so that it's worth the cost, which presents other problems possibly too. Now, here's where Ethereum 2.0 comes in. So luckily, the launch of Ethereum 2.0 will definitely lower gas fees to near zero levels. Okay, and the biggest reason is because we're not going to be using as much electricity to get things done, because the consensus mechanism doesn't require hardly as much electricity as it does right now. Okay, because things will be based on your stake rather than, of course, there will be electricity because computers need to be on. But I think you get the picture here. We won't have to be having, 1,000 GPUs and NVIDIA top gaming GPUs somewhere. We've caught with fans on top of that running at miles per hour that I can't even put into, conceptualize in my head just to get a couple of transactions done. Okay. And this is where the issue came with Bitcoin about Bitcoin sustainability, and of course there's plans for renewable energy, but Ethereum is completely stepping away from that. Now, indeed, Ethereum plans to scale ERC20 to the point where it can process more than 100,000 transactions per second. With all of this friction to DeFi about to go away, I highly recommend investors to get their stake in this promising coin. Now, there's a double agent hiding in the FTSE, and they're saying they recommend you buy it. Now, this is just what they're talking about, and this will be their premium stuff. But I think you can see the picture here as to what's going on. All right, now, final thing, and this is dated 2 days ago, October 5th, 2021. It was released at 5:07 my time, British summertime here. So let's have a look at this. So the upgrade, and this upgrade is called Altair upgrade, set to activate on the Ethereum mainnet this month. Now let's look at this upgrade. So on October 27th at epoch 74240, okay, the Altair beacon chain upgrade is scheduled to activate on the Ethereum network. So according to the Ethereum blog, and you can go and check the blog link, leave it in the description below. I'll leave it here for you guys to have a look. But according to the blog, the upgrade represents a low stakes warm-up to prepare beacon chain developers and client teams for the coming merge when Ethereum will transition from proof of work to proof of stake. Now, I definitely want to trade that day because I know it's going to be definitely bullish for the price. Now, the beacon chain with light client support, minor patches to incentives per validator, inactivity, leak accounting, and increase in slashing severity, and cleanups to validator rewards accounting for simplified state management. Okay. Now, in essence, what it means, the beacon chain has basically cleaned up a lot of the mess from what we have so far. All right. Now, anyone operating a beacon node or validator is required to update the client version to the new standard or risk being stuck in an incompatible chain. Validators who do not update won't be able to participate in the new consensus mechanism and will also face risks of being slashed and their penalties. Now, if you're not too sure what slashed means, in essence, if you don't obey the rules of the system, which is based on smart contracts and of course on code, so this is where code is law, no matter who you are, you could even be the largest investor in Ethereum. If you don't follow the rules, what slash basically means is that your Ethereum that stakes gets deducted, so you lose money in essence, which nobody wants to do. So that's a very good incentive to keep them behaving as what we'll say good actors. Now, because of this upgrade only affects the consensus mechanism on the beacon chain, it will not affect end users of the current Ethereum proof of work blockchain. Okay, so you and I. In order to encourage robust code review of the Altair upgrade, the bug bounty bonus has been doubled until November 27th. So in essence, if you didn't know that, they do release money, or they offer money to people if they can find any bugs in the code, because it helps to do the job better and it helps to build a community of people. So this is all I have for you guys today. And when it comes to Ethereum, this is really the final things that I'd like to say in terms of technical analysis. Now, we've talked about Ethereum a lot on this channel, and I would say one definite thing, that Ethereum is definitely going to do well. There's no shadow of a doubt about it. Now, for me, from a technical standpoint, I would say on the daily time frame, the high just before the all-time high, there was a supply zone created here. Now, this supply zone, the price has returned into here recently. We had the price get up here to 40 or 4K before it dropped that back down to where we talked about. And I said the price will go. Now, the price dropped a little bit shy of where I talked about. I said 25, which was supposed to be this demand zone, but it looks as though the price has just returned to the supply zone here to the left instead, which of course I would have liked to see the price drop into demand, but we're still in a good place. We've had a reoptimization for, here's the supply zone here. The price broke beneath. So we had a stronger short during June. Price returned back here, shorted a bit, which gives an indication that the bearish side of the market is weakening. Bam, straight above here, returned into here. We've just had a spike down 22nd here, 20, and then after now we're at 35. So from where we are right now, the price is clear. Now we're not clear until we get this close above here. All I would say to you guys, that just be ready. The day that the price closes above $4,137.15 to be very exact, this thing is going to moon. If we have a daily close above that, it's going to get crazy, okay? And now we have the upgrade happening on the 27th of October. We have 20 days. So if the price closes above here before October 27th, that will be even better for you, because the price will rally even more. Now, if the price hasn't done that just yet and we see the prices tipping around here, just be ready to see a massive long take place. So Ethereum, guys, for me, is a generational wealth builder for sure. Okay, I think the price is definitely on, may not even pull back down here, but just continue from where it is. All right, but any dips you see in Ethereum, even for me, it'll be a good buying opportunity at any time. So my people, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll catch you on the next one. Everybody take care and have a great